Today we will discuss about the submandibular region. Submandibular region, it is the below and under the cover of the body of the mandible. I will show you here. You can see this is the mandible, and it is the region which is below to the myloid line, and this is the myloid line. So the region below to the under the body and below to the mandible, it is the submandibular region, and it is upward, it is extend up to the mylohyoid line, and below it is extend up to the hyoid bone. Here you can see this is the hyoid bone. So it is below, it is extend up to the hyoid bone, and above here we have removed the this is the masseter muscles. We have removed here, there is a mandible, and we have dissected the, this is the mandible, part of the mandible, and we have dissected the inferior nerve. So this portion, right half portions of the mandible we have removed, and we have saved the inferior nerve by dissecting the, remove the mandibles. So the submandibular region, above it extend up to the myloid line, and below it is extend up to the hyoid bone, and superficially it includes the submandibular and submandibular triangle, or it is called the part of the digastric triangle, and submental triangle. This is a submental triangle. And deep structure, it is include the floor of the mouth and root of the tongue. So here you can see this is a floor of the mouth and root of the tongue, which is the structure or the deep structure. Submandibular region, superficial structure inside the submandibular region, it is by the I have this keep this region. You can see this is an investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Along with it there is a platysma muscles. Also here you can see there is a marginal mandibular nerves. I will show you the marginal mandibular nerve on the right side. Here you can see this is the marginal mandibular nerve, and this is the masseter muscles, and this is the lower border of the mandible. So the marginal mandibular nerve, it is the lowest anterior branch of the facial nerve, and below to it there is a one nerve. It is called the cervical branch of the facial nerve. So here you can see this is the cervical branch of the facial nerve. This one is the cervical branch of the facial nerve. Particularly it supplies to the platysma muscles. But the marginal mandibular nerve, it is the lowest anterior branch of the facial nerve, and it crosses the lower border of the mandible near the angle, and it runs below it across the submandibular region, and before turning upwards to reach to the mental region of the face, where it supplies to the muscles of the depressor muscles of the mouth, mainly the depressor anguli oris, depressor labii inferioris, and mentalis muscles, which is innervated by the marginal mandibular nerve. So you should now we will again on the left side right side of the submandibular region again, and so you should take the whenever you keep the incision over the submandibular region, incisions are not made along the lower border of the mandible to avoid the injury of the marginal mandibular nerves. Another nerve, it is a great auricular nerve. Here you can see this is the great auricular nerve, crosses the posterior belly of the digastric. This is a posterior belly of the digastric. It crosses the posterior belly of digastric on its way to supplies the skin of the face and auricles. Which are the structure inside the submandibular region, or the content of the submandibular region? There is a suprahyoid muscles. The suprahyoid muscles are the muscles. It is the stylohyoid. Here you can see this is the posterior belly of digastric, and this is the muscles which is the stylohyoid muscles. So it is a stylohyoid. This is the stylohyoid. This is the posterior belly of the digastric, and this one is the anterior belly of the digastric, and here you can see this is the intermediate tendon of the digastric, and the mylohyoid muscles just below to the anterior belly of the digastric. This muscle, it is called the mylohyoid muscles, and into the just below to the or deep to the submandibular gland. Here you can see this is the hypoglossal nerve, and just deep to the hypoglossal nerve, it is the muscle, it is the hyoglossus. This is the hyoglossus muscles, and here deep to the mylohyoid on the inner side, you can see this is the geniohyoid muscles. This is the geniohyoid muscles. So this one is the geniohyoid muscles. So the suprahyoid muscles are the digastric muscles, anterior belly of digastric, posterior belly of digastric, then the stylohyoid, then the mylohyoid. Mylohyoid are this is the muscle, it is called the mylohyoid, deep to the anterior belly of digastric, and deep to the mylohyoid, the muscle, it is called the geniohyoid. So these are the suprahyoid muscles, all are paired, and the extrinsic muscles of the tongue, particularly the muscles of the tongue, are the hyoglossus from the hyoid bone. This is a hyoid bone. So this is the muscles which hyoid bone to the tongue, it is called the hyoglossus. The styloglossus, I will reflect the here. This is the masseter. We have removed the body of the mandible. This is the medial pterygoid. This is the medial pterygoid. We reflect the medial pterygoid, and just deep to it, here you can see there is a muscles. It is a styloglossus. This is the styloglossus muscles, and lower one muscle, it is a stylopharyngeus muscle. This is the stylopharyngeus muscles, and this is the styloglossus muscles. So the upper one, it is the styloglossus, and this lower one, it is the stylopharyngeus, and this is the nerve, it is a glossopharyngeal nerve. So this is a glossopharyngeal nerve. Here you can see this is the nerve. It is the 9th cranial nerve, which is enter inside the pharynx, between the two muscles, the superior constrictor and middle constrictor muscles, here, this level. So the extrinsic muscles of the tongue, basically this is a styloglossus. From the styloid process to the tongue, it is called the styloglossus. From the hyoid bone to the tongue, it is called the hyoglossus. And another muscles, it is the genioglossus muscles. Other content of the submandibular region, it is the submandibular gland, as well as here there is a very small gland, it is a sublingual gland. The facial and lingual artery, here you can see this is a facial artery, this is a tortuous artery, this is a facial artery, and this facial artery below I have got here this facial artery, which is the anterior branch of the this is the facial artery, and this is a lingual artery, this is a lingual artery, and this one is the hypoglossal nerve. So facial and lingual artery, there is a nerves are the lingual nerve, hypoglossal nerve, and glossopharyngeal nerve. This one is the hypoglossal nerve. I will show you the deep to the masseter. This one is the medial pterygoid, and here you can see this is just below to the stylopharyngeus, this muscle, it is the hypoglossal nerve. This is a glossopharyngeal nerve. So this one is a glossopharyngeal nerve, which supplies to the stylopharyngeus muscles, and which enter inside the pharynx by between the superior constrictor and middle constrictor muscles, along with the stylopharyngeus muscles. Another nerve, here you can see this is into the upper part. This is a lingual nerve. This one is a lingual nerve. I will show you this lingual nerve. This one is the lingual nerve. So from the above side you can see this is a deep to the myloid muscles. This one is a lingual nerve, and here it makes the submandibular ganglion, this lingual nerve which makes the submandibular ganglion, and it the postganglionic fiber which innervate to the submandibular gland. So these are the structure which lies inside the submandibular region. Now we will discuss the one by one muscles. The muscles of the submandibular regions are the four muscles. First muscular plane, you can see there is a digastric. This one is a posterior belly of digastric. It is a bipinnate muscles, and this one is the anterior belly of the digastric. The second layer you can see this is a myloid muscles. This is a muscle. It is called the myloid muscles. Both the side. It is also called the diaphragma oris. So this is the myloid muscles. Third layer you can see there is a muscle. It is called the deep to the myloid. This is a genioid muscles. This is from the lower genial tubercle. This is a genioid, and here you can see this is the from the hyoid bone to the glossus. This is the hyoglossus muscles. This one is the hyoglossus muscles, and posteriorly deep to the there is a medial pterygoid. This muscle it is called the stylopharyngeus muscles. So it is called the styloglossus muscles, which is merged inside the genioglossus. So this is the styloglossus muscles. So in third layer there is a styloglossus. There is a geniohyoid. This is the geniohyoid, and there is a hyoglossus muscles which is lies inside the third layer. Fourth layer, the muscles, it is the deep muscles. Here you can see this is the hand shaped muscles. It is the genioglossus muscle. It is a mid sagittal section, and there is a part of the superior constrictor muscles. Part of the superior constrictor muscles. How to differentiate the superior constrictor and middle constrictor? By the stylopharyngeus muscles. Here you can see this is the styloglossus, and lower one this muscle it is the stylopharyngeus. So along with this stylopharyngeus there is a glossopharyngeal nerve, and both the muscles above to this stylopharyngeus it is a part of the superior constrictor, and below to it it is a middle constrictor muscles of the pharynx. So these are the fourth layer of the muscles of the submandibular region. Now we will discuss about the first layer of the muscles. It is the digastric muscle. It is the strap-like muscles consisting of the posterior and anterior belly united by the intermediate tendon. So this is the anterior belly, and this is the posterior belly, and it is the intermediate tendon. And the posterior belly, which is the bipinnate, here you can see this is the bipinnate muscles, and it arises from the mastoid notch of the temporal bone. So mastoid notch of the temporal bone, it is the origin, and the anterior belly of the digastric, which is arise from the here at the midline. There is a digastric fossa on the lower border of the mandible, close to the symphysis menti. So here you can see there is a here there is a digastric fossa close to the symphysis menti. There is a origin of the anterior belly of the digastric. So and it is inserted it is into the posterior belly of the digastric, which is run forwards and downwards between the digastric triangle and carotid triangle. This is the carotid triangle. So it is runs forward and downwards, and it is between the digastric triangle and carotid triangle, and this is the anterior belly of the digastric. It runs backwards and downwards between the digastric and submental triangle. So, and it is inserted into the intermediate tendon, and the intermediate tendon, it is the anchor, the junction of the body and greater cornu of the hyoid bone. So this is the body of the hyoid bone, and here there is a greater cornu of the hyoid bone. So this is a greater cornu of the hyoid bone, this is the body of the hyoid bone. At this junction there is a investing layer of the deep cervical fascia which is bifurcate, and it is inverted U shape, makes the belly, and it is a insertion of the into the intermediate tendon by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia, which is make U shape hook between the body and greater cornu of the hyoid bones. So this is about to the digastric belly of the posterior belly of the digastric and styloid muscles are the derivative of the second pharyngeal arch, so that's why it is supplied by the facial nerve. While the anterior belly of the digastric, it is the derivative of the first pharyngeal arch. So the anterior belly and mylohyoid, both the muscles which is innervated by the derivative of the first pharyngeal arch, so it is supplied by the mandibular nerve. It is supplied by the mandibular nerve. So, and the action of this muscle, mainly the digastric muscle which is action, it is the help to depress the mandible when the mouth is open widely against the resistance. So it is action and pull the hyoid bone upwards during the deglutitions. So this is the action of the digastric muscles. The relation of the posterior belly of the digastric, it is also called the key muscles, because the mainly there is a interjugular vein, common carotid artery which is bifurcate into the external carotid and internal carotid artery. Here you can see this is the external carotid artery, and this one is the internal carotid artery. And also there are three cranial nerve. This is the hypoglossal nerve. Here you can see this is a spinal accessory. Here this is a spinal accessory nerve. I will reflect the sternocleidomastoid muscles, and you can see this is the spinal accessory nerve. So spinal accessory nerve which is passes behind to the posterior belly of digastric, hypoglossal nerve, and the third nerve, it is the vagus nerve. So this one is the vagus nerve. And superficially the structure above to the superficial to the digastric muscle is the skin, superficial fascia, platysma, and investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So these are the structure related with the digastric muscles. Another thing you have to remember, the posterior belly of the digastric, just below to the posterior belly of digastric there is a origin of the there is a beginning of the occipital artery. This is the occipital artery, it is a branch of the external carotid artery, and just upper level of the digastric muscle, here you can see there is a artery, it is a posterior auricular artery. So you have to remember, at the upper border of the posterior belly of digastric there is a beginning of the posterior auricular artery, and there is a lower border of the digastric, there is a occipital artery. So this is the relations of the digastric muscles, and above to it there is a styloid muscles. So this is a styloid muscles, and it is the styloid muscle, it is the mainly separated from the, it is considered as it is a separated part of the posterior belly of the digastric muscles. So this is about to the digastric muscles. Styloid muscle, it is the slender muscles. This is the styloid muscles. From the origin, it arises from the posterior surface of the styloid process. It is deep. Here we can palpate the styloid process. Origin of the styloid muscle from the styloid posterior part of the styloid process, and it is goes anteriorly. It goes anteriorly and downwards. Here you can see it goes anteriorly and downwards towards the hyoid bone below to the submandibular gland, and it is inserted on the hyoid bone. So that's why it is called the styloid muscles. And these styloid muscles, inserted on the hyoid bone at the junction between the body and greater cornu of the hyoid bone. So here this is the body and this is the greater cornu of the hyoid bone. At this level there is an insertion of the stylohyoid muscles. So this is about to the stylohyoid muscles. And the nerve supply of the stylohyoid muscle, it is the second pharyngeal arch. It is the derivative of second pharyngeal arch, so it is also supplied by the facial nerve, so same as the posterior belly of the digastric muscles. Action of these muscles, it draw the hyoid bones upwards and backwards and elongate the floor of the mouth. Stylohyoid, it is considered as a delaminated portion of the posterior belly of the digastric muscles. Another muscle, it is the mylohyoid muscles, deep to the anterior belly of the digastric. You can see this is the which makes the floor of the mouth. So that's why it is also called the diaphragma oris. So it is the muscles, it is the diaphragma oris, and it is arise from the mylohyoid line. So here you can see this is the mylohyoid line. It is the origin of the mylohyoid muscles. It is the origin, and the insertion of the mylohyoid muscles, the fibers which is goes downwards, the fibers which is goes downwards and medially, and the posterior fibers which is inserted to the body of the hyoid bone. Here this is the body of the hyoid bone. So the posterior fiber, it is inserted into the this is the posterior fiber, and it is inserted to the body of the hyoid bone, and this is the anterior fiber of the mylohyoid muscles which is interdigitate, and it makes the raphe, and it makes the median fibrous raphe, and it is inserted into the midline. And the nerve supply of the mylohyoid muscles, it is the derivative of the same as the anterior belly of the digastric. It is derived from the first pharyngeal arch, so it is supplied by the mylohyoid nerve. I will show you the mylohyoid nerve. Here you can see this is the inferior nerve, and this inferior nerve which gives the branches to the mylohyoid muscles. Here you can see this is the nerve which is the this one is the nerve to mylohyoid, sorry. So this is the mylohyoid nerve, you can see, and this nerve, mylohyoid nerve, here you can see it supplies to the anterior belly of digastric and mylohyoid muscles. So both are supplied by the nerve to mylohyoid. It is a branch of inferior, and the inferior, it is a branch of the inferior, it is a branch of the mandibular nerve, and mandibular, it is a branch of the trigeminal nerve. The actions of these mylohyoid muscles, it is the elevate the floor of the mouth. It contraction, it elevate the floor of the mouth, hence it is a tongue. It elevate the tongue during the first stage of the deglutitions. It also depress the mandible against the resistance, and it elevate the hyoid bone. So this is the action of the mylohyoid muscles. Here you can see this is the mylohyoid line. It is the origin of the mylohyoid muscle, and it makes the fiber which is goes downwards and backward, downwards, and it is inserted into the body of the hyoid bone. Then most posterior fiber which is inserted on the body of the hyoid bone, both the anterior fiber and middle fiber which is interdigitate, and it makes the fibrous raphe, and it makes the floor of the mouth, it is called the diaphragma oris. The geniohyoid, this is the genial tubercle, the upper and lower genial tubercle. From the lower genial tubercle, pair of genial tubercle, it gives the geniohyoid muscles origin. It is the inferior genial tubercle of the mandible. And here you can see this most superficially anterior belly of digastric, then mylohyoid, and deep to these mylohyoid muscles, you can see here, this is the muscle, it is the geniohyoid muscle. This one is the pair of the geniohyoid muscles. This one is the right and this is the left geniohyoid muscles. And this geniohyoid, which is goes straight downwards and forwards, and it is attached to the deep to the body of the above to the insertion of the mylohyoid muscles. It there is a insertion of the anterior surface of the body of the hyoid bone above to the medial part of the mylohyoid muscle. It is an insertion of the geniohyoid muscles. The geniohyoid, it is supplied by, you have to remember, it carries the hypoglossal nerve. This is a hypoglossal nerve, and it carries the fiber of the C1 fiber. It supplies to the geniohyoid, as well as there is a thyroid muscle. So this is the thyroid. Deep to the sternum to hyoid, this is a sternohyoid, and deep to it there is a above to the thyroid cartilage, thyroid to hyoid, this is the thyroid muscle. So thyroid and there is a geniohyoid, both are the supplied by the fiber of the C1, which is along with the hypoglossal nerve, which is innervate to the geniohyoid and thyroid muscles. The action of this geniohyoid, it elevates the hyoid bone. Here it elevates the hyoid bone by the contraction, and it pulling it upwards and forward, that shorten the floor of the mouth, and it also depress the mandible when the hyoid bone which is fixed. So this is the action of the geniohyoid muscles. The hyoglossus muscles, here you can see below to the anterior belly of the digastric and deep to the hypoglossal nerve. This muscle, this is the hyoglossus muscles. This hyoglossus muscles which makes the floor of the antero-inferior part of the carotid triangle. This is the hyoglossus muscles. So it arises from the upper surface of the entire length of the greater cornu of the hyoid bone. This is the body of the hyoid bone, and here there is a greater cornu of the hyoid bone. So entire length of the greater cornu of the hyoid bone and adjacent part of the body of the hyoid bone, it is the origin of the hyoglossus muscle. It is inserted, it goes upwards, and it is inserted on the side of the tongue of the, it is the insertion of the hyoglossus muscles. Here it is difficult to show you, but this is the hyoglossus muscles. From the inferior side I will show you. This is the hyoglossus muscle, and there is a above to it there is a hypoglossal nerve, and deep to the hyoglossus muscles there is a lingual artery which is passed, and this lingual artery which is divided into the four part. First part proximal to the hyoglossus, second part deep to the hyoglossus, and third part distal to the hyoglossus, and fourth part it is vertical inside the tongue, and so the lingual artery particularly supplies to the muscles of the tongue. So hyoglossus particularly divides the lingual artery into the three part: proximal to it, behind to it, and distal to it, and vertical part of the lingual artery it is considered as a fourth part of the lingual artery. So the hyoglossus which is inserted into the side of the tongue between the styloglossus. I will show you the styloglossus. Here you can see this is the styloglossus muscles. So it is inserted on the side of the tongue. This is the hyoglossus muscles. So inserted on the side of the tongue between the styloglossus laterally and inferior longitudinal muscles medially. So this is the insertion of the hyoglossus muscles. Sometimes there is a hyoglossus which is attached to the part of the hyoglossus which is attached to the lesser cornu of the hyoid bone, and it forms a separate muscle. It is called the chondroglossus. It is called the chondroglossus. So this hyoglossus which is supplied by the hypoglossal nerve, you have to remember all the muscles of the tongue which is supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. So wherever the hyoglossus, styloglossus, genioglossus, except the palatoglossus which is not innervated by the hypoglossal nerve. Remaining all the muscles which is innervated by the hypoglossal nerve. The action of the muscles, hyoglossus, it depresses the side of the tongue on the both side. It contraction it led to there is a depression of the tongue on the both the sides, and it makes the dorsal surface of the tongue convex and help in retraction of the protruded tongues. So it help in retraction of the protruded tongues. So hyoglossus, it is a lateral in muscles. Here you can see this is the posterior part of the hyoglossus, this is the anterior part of the hyoglossus, this is the superior boundary, and this is the inferior boundary of the hyoglossus. So deep relation of the how the hyoglossus, which is separate to the other muscles, inferior deep relation, you can see there is a muscle, it is the inferior longitudinal muscles deep to the hyoglossus. There is a inferior longitudinal muscles of the tongue, and genioglossus anterior to this hyoglossus, there is a inside the tongue muscles, it is called the deep, there is a genioglossus muscle. Here there is a deeply, there is a genioglossus muscles, and middle constrictor of the pharynx, which is lies on the posterior side. Here there is a posteriorly, this is a stylopharyngeus muscles. So just below to the stylopharyngeus, this is the middle constrictor muscles. Above to the hyoglossus, it is the superior constrictor muscles, and here you can see there is a deep to it also, you can see there is a this now it is a glossopharyngeal now, this is a glossopharyngeal now, and this is a stylopharyngeus muscles, and there is one ligament, it is called the stylohyoid ligament. This one is the stylohyoid ligament part of the, this is the white fibrous which coming from the styloid process to the hyoid, and this is the glossopharyngeal now, and this is the stylopharyngeus, and this is the styloglossus muscles. And there is a lingual artery. Here you can see there is a lingual artery which is passes deep to the hyoglossus muscles. The superficial relations of the hyoglossus muscles. Here you can see the this is the hyoglossus muscles, and the superficial relation you can see there is a hypoglossal nerve which crosses the from lower part of the muscles from behind to the forward. It is the hypoglossal nerve. Another is the lingual nerve. Here you can see this is the lingual nerve which is lies into the upper part of the hyoglossus muscles from back to the forwards. It is a lingual nerve, and deep part of the submandibular gland and submandibular duct. Here you can see this is a superficial part, and this is the deep part of the submandibular gland which is lies over the hyoglossus muscles, and also stylomandibular ganglion, submandibular ganglion. Here you can see this is the, I will show you the submandibular ganglion, the fiber of the lingual nerve. Here you can see this is a lingual nerve, and this fiber which making it goes inside the submandibular deep part of the submandibular gland, and this is the submandibular ganglion. So the fiber, this is the submandibular ganglion, and there is another posteriorly there is a hyoglossus which is interdigited by the styloglossus muscles. Here you can see this is the hyoglossus muscles, and this is the styloglossus muscles posterolaterally. Styloglossus muscels which is interdigited with the hyoglossus, and there is a mylohyoid muscles which is overlap the hyoglossus muscles anterosuperiorly. This is the mylohyoid muscles which is overlap into the anterosuperior part of the hyoglossus muscles. So these are the relations of the hyoglossus. Structure passing deep to the posterior border of the hyoglossus are the glossopharyngeal nerve. I already show you this is a glossopharyngeal nerve. There is a stylohyoid ligament. This is a stylohyoid ligament. This one is a stylohyoid ligament, and there is a lingual artery which is goes deep inside the this is the lingual artery. Here you can see this is a lingual artery which passes deep to the hyoglossus muscles. So these are the structure passing deep to the posterior border of the hyoglossus muscles. The last muscle, it is the styloglossus muscles. Here you can see this is a styloglossus muscles which arise from the tip of the styloid process, as well as it is arise from the stylohyoid ligament. It arises from the stylohyoid ligament, and it is inserted into the runs forward and inserted into the whole length of the side of the tongue and interdigited with the fiber of the hyoglossus muscles. So this is the hyoglossus, so it is interdigited with the hyoglossus muscle, and this styloglossus, it is also supplied by the hypoglossal nerves. So action of this styloglossus, it is the mainly retract the tongue upwards and backwards, and thus it antagonists the genioglossus muscles. Along with the counterpart of the opposite side, it forms a median gutter on the dorsum of the tongue for the passage of the food. Both sides of the styloglossus contract both the side right and left. It makes the median gutter shape of the tongue, and it is mainly helpful for the passage of the food. So this is about to the styloglossus, and this one is the genioglossus muscles. Here you can see this is a genioglossus muscles, and this is the fan shape extrinsic muscles of the tongue along with the counterpart of the opposite side to forms the most bulky part of the tongue. It originates from the superior genial tubercle. Here you can see this is a superior genial tubercle. It is the origin of the genioglossus, and it is inserted into the fiber which is radiate backwards and fan side. Some fiber goes upwards, some fiber goes backwards, and some fibers which is goes downwards. So the lower fiber which is goes downwards, and it is inserted to the hyoid bone. So here it is inserted to the, this is the hyoid bone. So it is inserted to the body of the hyoid bone to forms the root of the tongue. Intermediate fiber which is goes backside beneath to the anterior border of the hyoglossus muscles, and it is extend backward up to the stylohyoid ligament and middle constrictor of the pharynx. The upward fibers, it is runs upwards and forward, extend up to the tip of the tongues. So it extend up to the tip of the tongue. So most anterior part of the tongue, it is called the tip of the tongue. So this is supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. Action, it is the both side of the together protrude the tongues and make elongated gutter on the dorsum of the surface of the tongue for the passage of the food. So this is about to the hyoglossus muscles. So hope you enjoy the muscles content of the submandibular region, mainly the muscles of the submandibular region, submandibular glands. There is a nerves, lingual artery, and there is a lingual artery and facial artery. There is a lung. Nerves are the lingual, hypoglossal, and glossopharyngeal nerve, and submandibular ganglion. So hope you enjoy the lecture of the submandibular region. Thank you.